Ouais, je suis confié que je vais jouer des matchs et je vais montrer au coach que j'ai un bon niveau de jouer à Chelsea.
Oh, Kevin, if only you knew back then. De Bruyne is one of the greatest players that Chelsea have sold over the last decade. But he's not the only one. Several footballers have left Stamford Bridge to become world-class players. And we wonder, what if they'd stayed and played alongside some of the current stars? This is the unbelievable starting 11 that Chelsea would have today if they had kept them. Are you ready? You'll be surprised. For the purpose of this video, we chose a 3-5-2 formation with some incredible names that would have made Chelsea the strongest team in Europe. Let's get started from the back with the goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. This one was pretty obvious. Thibaut was a key player during his days with Chelsea. Courtois arrived from his boyhood club, Henk, and was immediately loaned to Atletico Madrid, where he spent 3 consecutive seasons. After shining with Los Colchoneros, he eventually earned his chance at Stamford Bridge. He helped the Blues win their last 2 Premier League titles back in 2015 and 2017, plus an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. A $35 million offer from a European giant saw him leave in 2018. Real Madrid needed a proven world-class goalkeeper, and Courtois was their man, although he may have been at the peak of his powers at Stamford Bridge. Center back, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva still got it. After a decade at the highest level, first at AC Milan, then at Paris Saint-Germain, the Brazilian chose to continue his career in the Premier League at 35 years old. But that's the thing with great players. They've got a strong mindset. Silva proved his career wasn't over, and European glory finally arrived. After pursuing the UCL title unsuccessfully for 8 years with PSG, Thiago won the Champions League with Chelsea in his first attempt. Center back, Antonio Rudiger. The future former Chelsea star will leave a strong legacy behind him. One of the toughest center backs in Europe, Rudiger joined Chelsea after performing well in the German Bundesliga and Italian Serie A. Tall, smart, and with good technique for a defender, Antonio has become a leader in Chelsea's back line. He has won every single international honor with the Blues: Champions League, Europa League, European Super Cup, Club World Cup. Add an FA Cup to the list and you'll understand why Chelsea fans are devastated that Rudiger will be leaving the club in June. Center back Nathan Ake. The transfer to Bournemouth seemed like a great deal for Chelsea, but it wasn't. Since he left, Nathan Ake's level has gone through the roof. Having played 25 times for Manchester City this season at the time of recording, Ake is now of interest to some of the best Premier League clubs, and his market value is now over £60 million. While he's also a regular for the Netherlands national team, as a Blue, he only played 17 games and went on loan 3 times. Perhaps letting him go wasn't such a good deal after all. Right midfielder Reece James. After joining the club's academy when he was just 6 years old, Reece James has become one of the standout graduates of the last few years. Often playing as a right back or even a central midfielder, James cemented his place in Chelsea's starting 11 during the 2020-2021 season. The skillful wingback caught Tuchel's eye due to his technique and attacking prowess. He also has sublime close control that differentiates himself from other PL wingbacks. If he continues to maintain this level, he'll have a bright blue future ahead of him. Center midfielder Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I think I will get my chances, but if you are on the field, you have to show yourself. Doesn't matter how many chances you get. If you play good, you will get more chances.
Oh, poor young and naive Kevin. You never got those chances at Chelsea. De Bruyne is probably the most talented player that Chelsea let go of this century. It's been well documented, but the Belgian only played 3 Premier League games for Chelsea. Which coach could have dismissed such an extraordinary talent? Jose Mourinho. Yep, the special one. Mo isn't particularly known for regretting his decisions, but one could assume he regrets letting KDB go prematurely.
Everybody makes mistakes. I made lots of mistakes.
Fair enough, Jose. You're still great. Center midfielder N'Golo Kante. And to think we could have seen Kante and De Bruyne playing together. Chelsea have definitely had some great midfielders, and they still do. N'Golo has become the leader in the Blues midfield, and not because of his enchanting smile. Chelsea won its 2nd Champions League trophy thanks to the Frenchman's heroics. His relentless effort plus his superb technique and vision have seen him become one of the world's best midfielders. Let's not forget he's currently a world champion with both his club and his national team. How many players have achieved that? Center midfielder Declan Rice. The 23-year-old midfielder has been heavily linked with Chelsea, but the fact is, he already knows what it means to be a Blue. Despite Rice playing for West Ham at senior level, he's actually a former Chelsea Academy product. That's right, Declan played for Chelsea's youth team until the age of 15, before becoming a Hammer, having played close to 200 games for his club and establishing himself as an England regular. Looks like it worked out in the end, but who knows? His future may be clad in blue after all. Left midfielder Eden Hazard. While he hasn't reached the same heights since he joined Real Madrid, Eden Hazard was incredible for Chelsea. Not only because of the titles he won, 2 Premier League titles and a pair of Europa League wins, but because of his stunning performances. Hazard made his name at Stamford Bridge. He established himself as one of the world's best almost from the day he arrived at Chelsea. And only when a giant like Madrid came in for him did he decide to leave. We've said several times in this video that Chelsea let go some players. But this is not the case for Hazard. He chose to leave. Some could say he's been regretting that decision for almost 3 years now. Forward, Romelu Lukaku.
Pressure, I would not say pressure. I would just say like main ambition. My ambition is just to play regularly in the team, to be in the team and just score goals and make the team win.
Romelu Lukaku is currently one of Chelsea's biggest attacking threats. But back in 2013, Chelsea let him go after a frustrating season. 15 games and 0 goals opened the exit door for the Belgian, who then shined at Everton, Manchester United, and Inter. 9 years later, he made a stunning return, a second chance as a Blue. And even though his performances so far this season haven't been as good as expected, he's still hungry for titles and won't give up his dream.
I hope to do better. But that's why we're here.
Before we unveil the last player on our list, a special mention for some footballers we could have featured. Let's just say this would be the bench, like sensational midfielder Jorginho, who was key in Chelsea's recent European success. Or Eden's brother, Torgan Hazard. Jeremy Boga could have also made it. Or Nemanja Matic. You heard right. Matic played for Chelsea. And what about Radamel Falcao? And Patrick Bamford? They were also candidates. But the last name we chose is almost obvious, isn't it? Forward, Mohamed Salah. Let's be fair. Nobody expected Mo Salah to become the beast he is today. So we won't criticize you for letting him go, Mo. Although it's impossible not to wonder what would have happened if he stayed at Chelsea. He only played 19 games as a Blue before leaving on loan for 18 months. First to Fiorentina and later to Roma, the club that eventually bought him. Of course, the Egyptian is now a legend in Liverpool, and it's hard to imagine him with another Premier League club. But my goodness, what an incredible duo he and Lukaku would make today. Transfer windows are one of the most important parts of the season. And even though Chelsea have bought some amazing players, this video is proof that they should have kept some of their own. They could have dominated Europe for years. Did we forget about anybody? Which player would complete the bench? Let us know in the comments. We've had some fun picking our ultimate Chelsea 11, but the reality is they're now a club fearing bankruptcy after Roman Abramovich's departure, and a storm could be brewing at Stamford Bridge. Check how this Chelsea fan reacted after Chelsea's UCL elimination by Real Madrid. Thanks for watching.